today's craft, we are going to be making a sampler. A sampler is basically an image that's made using cross stitch. And here in Leave It to Abigail, a lot of the illustrations look like cross stitch. So it's taking fabric and you use thread to sew using X's or crosses to create designs in words. And samplers were used a lot in the past. In the 18th century, girls and women would create samplers not only for decoration for the home, but it was also a great way to practice their sewing skills. In addition, for young ladies, it was a great way to practice their letters and their words. So it was part of their learning and their schooling too. So today we're going to be making a sampler. You can use any materials you have at home. If you happen to have fabric or embroidery thread and are comfortable using a needle, you can create an actual sampler on fabric. Create a saying or a picture that symbolizes something that you believe in. Or you can use whatever you find around the house. I don't have any fabric and embroidery thread hanging around, and since we can't go to the store right now, I'm going to use what I have around. So this is part of a lemon bag. So you can use part of a citrus fruit bag. So if you have clementines or oranges, lemons, limes, anything like that, they usually come in a mesh bag. Same thing with onions, they often come in a mesh bag. Or if you happen to have some hard plastic mesh for crafts, you can use that. When you're using such a big material like this, you want probably a bigger needle. If you happen to have a plastic needle at home, that might be helpful. Or you can make your own out of pipe cleaner. So you simply take a pipe cleaner. If you have thin ones that are a little less fuzzy, those might work a little bit better. And you just bend the end, create the eye of the needle, and twist, and then cut to your desired length. Now I've already created one here. And then if you're going to be using a mesh bag of some sort, you probably want to use a little bit of a thicker thread. So something like this will probably be a little too thin. But if you have some yarn hanging around, that might work very well. So you simply put a knot at the end of your thread, and because the holes in this mesh bag are really large, I'm actually going to start by just tying it off right here. So that it doesn't pull through. And then depending on your design and what material you have, you can start sewing your picture. You have markers, draw your picture on here with a marker first, and then you just kind of keep sewing away. There we are. And depending on what you're using, you can do something very simple or get much more complicated. And if nothing else, this is a great way to practice your cross stitch or your embroidery skills, your sewing. And then when you're able to get the proper materials, there we go, you can purchase a pillowcase or something like that and actually decorate your own pillowcase. A lot of women in the 18th century would spend time adding initials to clothing as one of their daily activities and chores, not only practicing their letters, but also practicing their sewing skills and doing something important. So as you can see, we're starting to get a little bit of sewing going on here. And you can create your own design. Eventually we'll come down and around and make a nice heart. And here we have our heart. So be creative with what you create and creative with what you use. You could also use, if you have any of those foam trays that fruits and veggies come in, you could use that and poke holes through it and create your embroidery images that way as well. I hope you have fun and have a new appreciation for the work that the women in the 18th century did. And remember, if you practice enough and you feel like you're creating something that looks worthy of putting on the wall, you can create a fabulous image that either symbolizes what you believe in, or you could write words of what you believe in.